Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Jeff Samar just shut out baseball's best at home, the Pirates, in his last outing. Today, can he cool off the Cards at Wrigley? It's a gorgeous afternoon here at Wrigley Field. It's StubHub Day as fans filing in, getting a free Cubs t-shirt as we get you set for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Game 2 of a 3-game weekend set against the St. Louis Cardinals. And hi again, everyone, along with Bob Brenly. I'm Len Casper. The wind is blowing in, but it blew in yesterday, and the teams combined for 15 runs. The Cardinals hit 5 home runs, 1 in each of the first 5 innings. So Jeff Samardzija today will just try to keep the ball in the yard.
Well, if he does what he did last, no problem with that particular issue. Against the Pirates, as good as we've seen Jeff Samardzija, really had great command of his sinking fastball. His splitter was good. Didn't need to use his cutter slider very often, but when he did, he put it right on that outside corner. Really, the only blemish in the game was his own failure to cover first base on that ground ball to the right side.
8 innings and just that infield hit by Andrew McCutchen as Samardzija put together his best start in the big leagues to this point. And he's going to face Joe Kelly. Kelly will face Anthony Rizzo for the first time. Rizzo, a little bit of a slump, but he has busted out of it the last 2 games.
You know, Len, it was almost good to see that little bit of a slump, to see how Anthony Rizzo would react, what kind of adjustments would he make, and it didn't take him long to make the adjustment. He's back on that fastball, really hitting the ball hard.
Well, to beat the Cardinals, you have to score runs. The Cubs have given up 32 runs to the Cardinals over their last 4 games versus St. Louis. We'll have game 2 of this series coming up next.
In part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy? Toyota. Right now you can get a lot for less at your local Toyota dealer, official partner of the Chicago Cubs. The new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. BMO Harris Bank. Helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank. NA member FDIC. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Well, I would call it the nicest day of the year here at Wrigley Field. Mild temperatures, beautiful in the sun, nice in the shade, little breeze coming in off the lake. Couldn't dial it up any better.
We've had very few ideal weekends here at Wrigley this year. It seems like it's either been too cold, too wet, or too hot, but you're absolutely right about this afternoon. Just a beautiful day for a ball game. The most beautiful setting for a baseball game in the world.
One of two early games. Detroit's in Toronto today, and before the Cubs take the field, let's take a look around the major leagues. The trade season still hot. The Yankees becoming the first team to reach 60 wins. They have an 8.5 game lead in the American League East. The Reds last night extending their winning streak to 8. Hanley Ramirez with a game-winning home run for the Dodgers against the Giants, and Zach Greinke back in the American League as Milwaukee deals him to the LA Angels of Anaheim. So Jeff Samardzija ready to face this Cardinals Southwest starting lineup. Skip Schumacher will lead it off at second. John Jay with one of the best catches we've seen all year in center yesterday. Matt Holliday with another home run yesterday. Carlos Beltran back in the lineup after 2 days off. Lance Berkman, Yadier Molina, Matt Carpenter, Daniel Descalzo, and Joe Kelly.
A little bit of a different look to the Cubs lineup today. It'll be Soriano, DeJesus, and Lajer once again left to right across the outfield. Valbuena and Castro will man the left side of the infield. Jeff Baker getting a start at second base for Darwin Barney. Anthony Rizzo back at first base. Giovanni Soto behind the plate for right-hander Jeff Samardzija. We've talked at length about his outing against the Pirates last time out. It's really been a roller coaster season for Jeff. Got off to a great start. Hit a little bit of a skid. He had 4 very subpar outings in a row back in the month of June, but has rebounded with 4 strong starts, including that last time out against the Pirates.
Angel Campos gets the plate. Mike Winters is the crew chief at first. Mark Wegner at second, and Brian Knight over at third. A patriotic crowd out there in the bleachers today. Cardinals come in 54-46. Third place in the Central, 5.5 back of Cincinnati. The Cubs are in 5th place, 40-58, 18.5 out. And we're underway as Samardzija deals ball 1 to Schumacher.
Schumacher leading off for the Cardinals today. Rafael Furcal led off in yesterday's ball game, but amidst all that offense, he took an 0 for 5. You couple that with the fact he's 0 for 6 lifetime against Jeff Samardzija, so Rafael Furcal on the bench. Skip Schumacher leading off today for the Cards.
Descalzo playing short, batting 8. 3-0 on the leadoff man. And it goes without saying, against a lineup like the Cardinals, you don't want to walk too many people. The first time in Cardinal history they homered in each of the first 5 innings yesterday. On 4 pitches, Schumacher is aboard.
Five home runs in 5 innings yesterday for the Cardinals under very similar conditions. The wind it's blowing straight in, occasionally a little bit right to left. Just identical to the conditions we had here yesterday, at least as far as the wind.
Now the center fielder, John Jay. Outside, 5 straight bad ones to start the game from Samardzija. Think about how fickle this game can be. In his last start, Samardzija went 8 innings and gave up 2 base runners, a walk and a single to Andrew McCutchen. That was it. The leadoff man reaches today, and now he's 2-0 on Jay. Outside, 3-0.
It's such a key for any pitcher, but especially for Jeff Samardzija, to establish that fastball in the strike zone early. He throws his sinker in the mid to upper 90s.
After missing on the first 7, there's strike 1. Three and 2. Matt Holliday on deck. Sizzling Matt Holliday. The hottest hitters in their lineup. Schumacher takes off for second, and Jay fouls it back. Actually, their hottest hitter, Bob, is David Freese, but we haven't seen him yet in the series. Freese is 15 for his last 28. With the cramping in his calf, suffered on Thursday, didn't play yesterday, and still not back in the lineup.
That's a nice luxury when you have such a high-powered offense. You can afford to give a guy an extra day or two before you put him back into that lineup.
That one bounced into the glove of Soto, and that's back-to-back walks to start the game.
For me, that's just being overly cautious, maybe overthinking the at-bat a little bit too much. Samardzija struggling to find the strike zone, ends up throwing a 3-2 slider, which is his third best pitch, to walk John Jay. Found that sinker in there low in the zone, hope to get a ground ball right at one of your defenders.
Well, in Holliday's first at bat yesterday, he got that home run vibe going. His 18th of the season. This is off Travis Wood.
We're talking to pitching coach Chris Bosio about what went wrong for Travis Wood yesterday. It was very simple. Just made a lot of mistakes right down the heart of the plate. And on another day, you might see the Cardinals pop that pitch up or roll over and hit a ground ball. But yesterday, they were really squaring it up.
Swing and a miss on a slider. Like Holliday thought, well, he's walked 2 guys. He's 1-0. He's probably coming back with a fastball. And he didn't.
That was another thing that was missing from Travis Wood's outing yesterday, the inability to establish the inside part of the plate and keep the Cardinals hitters honest. Seemed like everything he threw straight out over the middle of the plate.
Didn't bite that time. 3-1. Beltran on deck.
It's a good slider to throw when you're ahead in the count. 1-2, 2-2. You might get Matt Holliday to chase that pitch, but when he's ahead in the count, a little tougher to get him to go after that slider on the edge.
And that one inside, really running on Samardzija. And he has walked the bases loaded. So Chris Bosio coming out. All kinds of trouble for Jeff as Carlos Beltran, after 2 days off, back in the lineup and at the plate. You know, you go into a start, you've got a pretty specific game plan against a team you're very familiar with in terms of what you do against certain hitters. Do you go back to the drawing board and not think about matchups and just think about quality pitches in general here?
Yeah, just think about making good pitches. If it's a mechanical issue, Chris Bosio, I'm sure, would have pointed that out to Jeff Samardzija. I think pitch selection's been a little shaky here in the first inning, maybe trying to dance around this Cardinals lineup a little bit too much, but yeah, more than anything else, just establish that you're going to throw your fastball for strikes. Cannot defend that base on balls.
We'll look at our AT&T Uverse multi-view. Nowhere to put Beltran. He hits a ground ball to Baker. Not a great flip to Castro. They will get the out. A little tougher to turn 4-6-3, and it wasn't hit that hard, and the Cardinals have the lead. Beltran with his 72nd RBI. And Schumacher's in. They're at the corners with one away.
Well, after 3 consecutive walks to start the ball game, Beltran does Jeff Samardzija a huge favor. They're putting that first pitch into play, unfortunately, so weakly that the Cubs couldn't turn the double play.
Now Lance Berkman. 2 hits yesterday, including just his 2nd homer of the season. And his first since May 18th. Oh, 2.
Lance Berkman has always been much more comfortable from that left side of the plate. But that bad knee really affects his balance in that batter's box.
And a big strikeout. 2 down. Well, if he could limit the damage here to 1 run, that'd be a moral victory at least.
Bottoming action on that split-fingered fastball on the inside part of the plate. That's normally a danger zone against a left-handed hitter like Lance Berkman, but a lot of downward movement on that splitter. Swings right over the top of it.
Molina with a 2-run homer onto Waveland in his first at bat on Friday. Outside corner.
It was a no-doubter. Yadier Molina ambushing Travis Wood. A lot of the Cardinals hitters did that yesterday. Came to the plate ready to hit. Travis Wood, a notorious strike thrower, and the Cardinals took advantage of it.
On the ground, picked up by Valbuena. They get the out at second, and Samardzija happy to get out of it with only 1 run allowed. They didn't have a hit, but the 3 walks helped them get on top. Of the first, we'll see what the Cubs can do against rookie righty Joe Kelly, their Southwest starting lineup. De Jesus Castro, 3 hits yesterday. Rizzo has homered in 2 straight. Soriano in left, Leher in right. Giovanni Soto catches. You have Baker in for Barney at second, Valbuena at third, and Samardzija on the mound.
Take a look at the Cardinals defensively this afternoon. It'll be Matt Holliday in left, John Jay in center, Carlos Beltran over in right field. Carpenter at third, Descalso at short, Schumacher at second, Berkman at first, Yadier Molina once again doing the catching for rookie right-hander Joe Kelly. 8 starts this season for Kelly. Fastball, slider, changeup pitcher. His last 6 starts have all been quality starts, but his record over those 6 only 1-2.
In mid-June, he replaced Jaime Garcia in their rotation. Garcia battling left shoulder issues. They're hoping to get him back in mid-August. So it's DeJesus to lead it off. Led off the bottom of the first yesterday off Lance Lynn with his 6th triple of the season. Kelly's Wrigley Field debut, facing the Cubs for the first time, and a sinker for a strike. 6'1", 185, Joseph William Kelly. Born in Anaheim, California, went to UC Riverside and was a 3rd-round pick in 2009. Off to a pretty good start, as Bob mentioned.
He's a pretty good athlete. Mike Matheny has used him as a pinch runner on multiple occasions already this year.
Pulled way foul. Joe's dad, also named Joe, played wide receiver at Vanderbilt. Later signed the San Diego Chargers. And how about this one? Joe Kelly is a distant relative of notorious gangster George Machine Gun Kelly.
How about that?
Base hit into right. Good start for the Cubs. That's the first hit of the ball game. Cardinals got their base runners on walks.
David DeJesus is back to doing what he has done throughout most of the season for the Cubs, and that's hit the ball right on the button. Barreled up a foul ball down the right field line, and then a couple pitches later barrels up another ball fair into right field for the first base hit of the game.
Castro upped his average 5 points with the 3 for 4 yesterday, including a triple. Close at first. Good move by Kelly. First time DeJesus has seen it.
Lance Berkman caught that pickoff attempt right in the palm of that first baseman's mitt. He kind of recoiled after making the catch.
Called strike.
As odd as it sounds, Len, the Cubs may have gained some momentum from that top half of the first inning. It could have been a lot worse. They could have been taking their at-bats here in the bottom of the inning down by 2 or 3 or more runs, but if Samardzija able to tap dance around those 3 leadoff walks and come away with only 1 run given up, you'd feel pretty good about it as you take your at-bat here in the bottom of the first.
So by Kelly's body language, he thought that was a strike.
He's been one of their top-ranked pitching prospects in their organization for the last 3 seasons. Cardinals are an organization that seems to have a wealth of young pitching talent in their organization.
That one drilled deep, left center. Right at the base of the wall. And DeJesus with nobody out will be held. Second and third, no outs.
Kelly likes his fastball. You see it's in the mid-90s. That last delivery at 95, but fairly straight. And Starlin Castro also barrels it up. It's a line drive into that gap in left center field. Nice play by John Jay to hustle it back into the cutoff man and hold DeJesus at third base. Good read by David over there. Saw that ball was going to be down in the gap. And the Cubs have it cooking.
Here is Rizzo. Talked about him in the open. 2 hits, including a homer on Wednesday. 2 hits, including a homer on Friday. But overly aggressive here as Descalzo's going to make the play, and the runners have to hold 1 out. Now Soriano. We're talking about Kelly with all these quality starts, but just 1-3 so far. He had trouble buying wins at AAA. He was leading the Pacific Coast League, which is a hitter's league, with a 2.86 ERA through 12 starts, but he was just 2-5. So he's 3-8 so far in the season when you combine AAA and the major leagues, and his ERA is under 3. Blocked by Molina. Tells you a lot about wins, doesn't it? Can't count on that stat to really tell you how good a pitcher is or how well he is pitching.
Well, and another factor to consider with Joe Kelly, he's given up 19 total runs in the major leagues this year. Only 14 of those are earned. The Cardinals have made some defensive miscues behind him as well that have cost him some chances at victories.
We're going to get a couple here to take the lead as Soriano knocks in DeJesus and Castro. He's trying for 3. And he's in head first. Quite sure what happened in the corner. Matt Holliday was there for a while.
He's up in the zone. A lot of topspin on that line drive down into the left field corner. Both runners are going to score easily. Matt Holliday's had his issues in left field. He is not the smoothest defender. Ball ricochets off the foul pole. Just assumed that Soriano was going to stop at second base, but Fonzie decides to turn the corner and give it a shot, and he slides in safely at third base.
So the Cubs are a home run away from hitting for the cycle in the first inning for the second consecutive day. Derek Lilliquist with an early visit, so both pitching coaches have already been out. Infield in, and the pitch to Brian LaHare is low and outside. Buckle up again.
I'll tell you, words I never thought I'd say, Len. Alfonso Soriano with a hustle triple to the left field corner. We talked about it the other day, how hard it is to hit a triple down in the left field corner or the left center field gap. The overwhelming majority of triples in the major leagues are either hit to straightaway center, the gap in right center, or right down the right field line.
Swing and a miss on a changeup. 2-1. Cubs now with 3 triples in this series. 24 on the year. They're in the top 5 in the majors in triples. the ground runner holds at Soriano halfway between third and home. He'll head back to the bag as LaHare grounds out. 2 away, and it brings up Soto. Ground to Descalzo to end the inning. Pretty good first inning when you think about how it started in the top of the frame with the first 3 Cardinals reaching on walks. After 1, it's 2-1 Cubs. High-speed action. We're going to go back to April 24th here at Wrigley Field. Jeff Samardzija went 6 2/3, 4 hits allowed, no runs. He struck out 9. Got a no decision in a Cubs 3-2 win. How about the fact he's leading this game going into the second?
That's why we show up every day, partner, because you never know what you're going to see.
Carpenter there again at third for Freeze. Carpenter had the game-winning home run yesterday. Made it 7-6. First pitch of the 4th inning. In the air out into deep left center, but there's room for DeJesus on the warning track.
Not the way you like to go about it, but very effective after walking the bases loaded. Samardzija really had his hands full. Beltran grounded into the fielder's choice, allowing the Cardinals to score the first run of the game, but then a strikeout of Lance Berkman. And a fielder's choice ground ball to Luis Valbuena at third. He's able to escape further damage. Walking that tightrope.
Castro just couldn't get it as Descalzo has his 3rd hit of the series. And that's the first base hit for St. Louis.
Just off the tip of the webbing of Starlin Castro's glove as he made a nice leaping attempt there.
Kelly's 2 for 13 with an RBI, 2 sacrifice bunts. Notice he wears glasses on the mound, but not when he bats. The throw's going to go to second. They get 1. That's it. Bob mentioned he's a good athlete, able to beat out the potential double play.
only the fact he's a good athlete and can run kept this from being a double play. Nice job by Samardzija to get to the ball quickly. Castro hangs in tough down there at second base as the sliding runner was right on top of him, but Kelly a little reminiscent of Casey Coleman in that regard. He swings the bat well, he runs well, he has a good pickoff move, does a lot of things well other than throw the baseball.
Schumacher hasn't seen a strike yet. Walked on 4 to open the game. Two and 0. Two and 1.
Apparently Jeff feels like he has a good slider today. That's the second time already in this ball game we've seen him go to the slider on a 2-0 count, that time for a strike. Another one right there for a foul ball. Sometimes the game the day before will determine how you pitch the following day, and Jeff Samardzija saw that ball flying out of Wrigley yesterday under similar conditions. Maybe doesn't feel confident enough to challenge with that fastball. Another slider here on a 2-2 count. That one never took the break, just stayed off the plate the entire way. Well, Giovanni Soto waving to the infielders, pointing at first base, alerting them that obviously in a full count with 2 outs, the runner at first is going to be in motion. A ground ball to any infielder, your plays at first.
And a base hit. Kelly can make the turn. They're at the corners for Jay. Pitch to Jay way outside. Just making sure Joe Kelly hit second base. Look right there.
Yeah, he did miss it against the Dodgers the other night in extra innings when he came in as a pinch runner. Stepped right over the bag at second and had to go into a slide to stop his momentum and get back to second base.
One and 2 on John Jay. Another huge crowd here at Wrigley. Glorious Saturday, 76 degrees, northeast wind at 11. Blue skies above.
Everyone's in love. A day like this at Wrigley Field, if this were every baseball fan's first experience at a Major League Baseball game, you'd never want to miss another one. Absolutely ideal here today.
Right to Rizzo, and the inning is over. They get a couple of hits but strand both runners. Cubs lead 2-1 early on. Yankees, Cam. John Jay with a great catch. You see where he started out at the top of your screen. Anthony Rizzo clubbing one to deep center.
And keep in mind, the wind was blowing from right toward left, so as he got out there, he had to make that last adjustment, not only to reach up, but reach over behind his head to make the catch. As fine a running catch as we've seen this year.
Come see the Cubs host the Cardinals tomorrow here at Wrigley Field. Game time 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans at the game get a Cubs scoreboard wall clock. Compliments of MasterCard. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Darwin Barney getting a rare day off at second. Doyle said he's just going to let him kick back, regroup a bit. And it'll be Jeff Baker hitting seventh. Valbuena and then Samardzija. Slider for a strike. The second start of the year at second for Baker, but it's a very familiar position for him. Two and one. Second base is a position he's played more than any other by a long shot in the big leagues. Backs up Carpenter. The throw right on the money. The first out, and it'll bring up Valbuena. Snapped an 0 for 19 with a ninth inning single yesterday. Kept his average from dipping below 200.
We joked about it yesterday. It's not all his fault. He's a much better hitter with runners in scoring position, close to 350 this season with runners in scoring position. So we'll lay some of the blame on his teammates. Two and one. Should one other early game today. That's the Tigers and the Blue Jays in Toronto. They're scoreless in the third. Right-hander Henderson Alvarez on the mound for Blue Jays, and Anibal Sanchez with his Tiger debut. In the deep left center. Jay going after this one. He's cruising now. Is that Jim Edmonds out there? Very reminiscent of the catches Jim Edmonds used to make both for the Cards and the Cubs. Jay tracking that one, ends up making the over the shoulder basket catch. Very nonchalant. You know, I'm going to ask you at some point. I keep asking Jeff, when are you going to hit one? He always comes up with some cockamamie excuse. Today would be a good day, though. You have to turn it up a notch. He was a little tardy on that first fastball from Kelly. Takes the second one for a called strike. I like the fact that at least Jeff thinks like a hitter when he's in the batter's box. When I asked him about it in his last start against the Pirates, he said he was sitting on breaking ball. Well, didn't look like it, but at least he said the right thing.
Just missed. Kelly was starting to head toward the first base dugout. On the rising heat at 97 for his first strikeout. So the Cubs go down quietly in the second, leading 2-1.
Baseball Hall of Fame, Louisville Slugger has just released a limited edition full-size Ron Santo Hall of Fame commemorative bat. Get yours today at BigTimeBats.com or by calling 866-280-BATS.
The 10 flags still adorning the roof around the ballpark on Santo Day yesterday. Matt Holliday will lead off for the Cardinals. Jones went on the ground. Nice play on the short hop by Valbuena.
Ends up making a really nice play. Valbuena maybe waited one tick too long before he decided to charge that ball. Has to field it on a big hop that comes up nearly waist high. Been able to hang on and throw across for the out at first base. Nicely done.
The Cardinals place in the standings 5.5 out, even though they've won 4 in a row. Problem is first place Reds have rattled off 8 straight, and the Pirates grabbed their 3rd in a row. The thrilling 9th inning comeback yet again in Houston. Well, it seems like the Cardinals are treading water. Remember, you've got that second wild card in the National League, and if they weren't hot right now, they'd be totally buried. They've won 7 of their last 8. Soto catches a foul tip. That's a strikeout, 2 away.
Take a look on our Liberty Mutual pitch tracks. Nasty splitter. Fortunately, Giovanni Soto able to hang on there. Ball tried to get out of the webbing of his glove as Beltran tips it right into the upper reaches of the webbing. The glove touches the ground, but the ball stays in.
There's Berkman with 2 outs. Just to give you an idea of what the wild card standings look like, the Angels and A's would have those 2 spots if the season ended today. And the Angels in the American League 10 games over, Oakland 9 over 500. National League, Pirates and the Braves. Pittsburgh 15 over, the Braves 11 over 500. So really being at 500 right now just puts you on the periphery of the wild card. 1-2 to Berkman. So the Diamondbacks are 5.5 out of the final spot. They're 7.5 back of the wild card leaders. Got it. So Marja has fanned Berkman twice. It seems to be settling in with a 2-1 lead in the 3rd.
Outlet for special MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. From game used baseballs, bases, and jerseys to autographed bats and photos, Cubs Authentics has the most exclusive Cubs memorabilia. Visit the Wrigley Field Concourse, the Cubs store, or email CubsAuthentic@Cubs.com for all your Cubs memorabilia needs.
Run for the Cards in the top of the 1st. The Cubs answered with 2. Soriano with a 2-run triple. Well, they bat in the 3rd. Top of the order starting with David DeJesus. He bounces it right to Dave McKay. Talked about this when the season started. Not only nice to have veteran coaches like Dave McKay and Jamie Quirk added to the staff, but also the fact that they know a lot of these NL Central opponents so well. Dave McKay should know what the Cardinals like to do at every turn. Same for Jamie Quirk and the Astros. Dale Swain, the manager, coming from Milwaukee. Dale said earlier this year, we saw the Brewers the first time, he said, I wrote the scouting report.
Well, who would know better? Guy who served as their hitting coach for the last few years.
The knees, 1-2.
And I really have to believe that for the Cardinals, Mike Matheny played under Tony La Russa and probably adopted a lot of the same philosophies and maybe even some of the same signs.
Missed outside, 2-2. He got him on a good changeup.
We'll see if Kelly continues to use his off-speed pitches here as we get through the lineup the second time. We saw Jeff Samardzija throw a lot of sliders early in the ball game, but in that last inning when he punched out 2 in a 1-2-3 inning, he went more to his splitter, his bread and butter pitch. We haven't seen much of Joe Kelly. We know he's got a real good explosive fastball, but shows a nice straight changeup right there to get David DeJesus to swing and miss.
Series already for Starlin with 4 hits. Couldn't hold up on the slider. Mentioned the Greinke trade earlier from the Brewers to the Angels. In return, Milwaukee gets the Angels' top prospect in terms of position players, shortstop John Segura, and a couple of minor league pitchers who were dealing at Double-A. So Milwaukee selling. Pirates buying earlier this week, getting Wandy Rodriguez. He is scheduled to pitch for the Pirates tonight.
And from the looks of some of the scouts at the ball game here today, the buying and selling is obviously not done yet. It's not uncommon to see an advanced scout. We talk about advanced scouts all the time. For example, after the Cubs play the Pirates, they'll go to L.A. and San Diego. So there's probably scouts from the Dodgers and the Padres watching the Cubs in this series in preparation for those series. But above and beyond that, there are a lot of what they call pro scouts in the stands today, guys that just come to evaluate the talent on both teams. They'll file a report with their organization whether a guy is a strong acquire, or we don't want it. And a lot of pro scouts, a lot of cross checkers in the stands today evaluating players on both ball clubs, but more so I would assume the Cubs side of the field. No secret that the Cubs are sellers at this time of year, and a lot of players would be attractive to teams that are looking for the postseason.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
And not only guys like Ryan Dempster and Matt Garza, the two most high-profile names that have been kicked around, but we talked about this a week or so ago. A versatile guy like Jeff Baker, who can play multiple positions and hits lefties well, might be very attractive to a team looking for a right-handed bat off the bench. So everybody is under the watchful eye of a number of scouts here today.
Kelly got his first strikeout against Samardzija, the 9th hitter of the game. He's now rattled off 3 in a row.
And many times a team's needs are very specific. We're looking for a left-handed hitter who can play center field if we need him to. Or we're looking for a utility infielder that bats from the right side of the plate. Looking for a guy who can play corner outfield spots and hit an occasional home run. They have their guys targeted that they want to keep an eye on here in the ball game today or in this series this weekend. They'll file the appropriate reports with their organizations leading up to the deadline on Tuesday.
Giants acquired Marcos Scutaro from the Rockies last night. AAA infielder Charles Culberson. So that adds to the Giants infield depth. But the story of the day, Bob, is that Wally the Green Monster has his costume back. The Red Sox mascot was reported missing. I guess it was a misunderstanding. An employee of the club had taken it without letting anybody know. So they reported it stolen. Kelly making this stuff up. Has struck out 4 in a row. Cubs lead 2-1.
The new Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell.
Our Menards Grounds Crew winner today, Steve Baum from Griffith, Indiana. Those batters boxes ready, helping out the Menards Grounds Crew. Underway in the 4th. Foul strike on Yadier Molina. Molina is winning the Gold Glove in the National League. At the catcher position, he's now won it 4 times in a row, but he also now owns the Rawlings Platinum Glove. Okay then, 1-2. That one got away from Jeff. Yeah, after the Gold Glove winners are announced, and they just started this past fall, fans get to vote on the best defender at any position in each league. Adrian Beltre won it in the American League and Molina in the National League.
You know, I'm partial to catchers in general, but Yadier Molina specifically has been a joy to watch throughout his career as he's really developed into the best catcher in the game. in his glove and his game calling, blocking ability, his ability to slow down a running game were always there. But offensively, every year he seems to figure it out a little bit more and a little bit more, to the point now where he is a legitimate threat on both sides of the ball.
Third straight strikeout for Samardzija. And let's do today's AT&T mobility question. Good segue. Who holds the major league record for consecutive errorless games and chances at the catcher position? Well, we mentioned Charles Johnson recently. Didn't he have a long errorless streak?
Yeah, it seemed like he did.
He went like a whole year without one or something. 1-1 on Carpenter. I'm not saying the answer isn't Yadi or Molina. It very well could be. But guys like Molina will make errors because they're so aggressive trying to pick guys off. In 1997, 123 games catching for Charles Johnson, did not commit an error. Three-two offering. We'll do it again.
I'm not sure about the errorless streak for a catcher, but I do know who threw out the highest percentage of runners in a single season. Gus Triandos. Remember that name from back in the late 50s, early 60s with the Baltimore Orioles? 63 stolen base attempts. He threw out 42 of them. Oof, don't even try. 67% on the year.
That's a fourth walk issued by Samardzija, but the first since he walked the first three batters of the game. A one-out base runner for the Cardinals. Here's Descalso, who singled on his first at bat. Chris Maloney, the first base coach. Jose Oquendo across the way at third. Secret weapon. (1988). Jose Oquendo played all 9 positions for the Cardinals. One and one to Descalso. The pitcher Kelly on deck. There it is. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Somewhere between the first inning and the third inning, Jeff Samardzija found his splitter. Not sure why he wasn't using it earlier in the ball game. I mentioned at the time throwing a lot more sliders than we're used to seeing him throw, especially in counts where he was behind the hitter.
This is his 20th start of the year. And then with a 1.67 ERA over his last 4 outings. Bounced way out front of home plate, and it'll be a wild pitch. And Carpenter to get the second.
Not too hard for a base runner to read the trajectory of that particular pitch. That way out in front of home plate.
Very late swing by Descalzo. Stay alive, 2-2. Jeff Baker will pick it up. 2 outs in the inning. Carpenter now at third. Well, in your quest to have video review handle everything in baseball, we're inching toward that, as the commissioner recently said he is interested in including trap balls and line shots down the foul lines as part of replay. Samardzija with a walk, but strands a tying run at third. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Cubs 2, Cardinals 1.
Joe Kelly showing why he's a distant relative of Machine Gun Kelly, mowing down Cubs hitters here today. 4 strikeouts on the ball game, including striking out the side there in the 3rd inning.
So he's sent down 8 in a row as he gets ready for the bottom half of the 4th. Pledge your allegiance to the Cubs by becoming a member of the Cubs Club, the official fan club of the Chicago Cubs. Members will enjoy exclusive perks, experiences, and merchandise throughout the 2012 Cubs season. There's never been a better time to join, rejoin, or give a fellow Cubs fan the gift of a Cubs Club membership. To join today, visit Cubs.com. And a big shout out to longtime Cub fan Jack Souters, turning 85 years old, from Quincy, Illinois. Jack and 30 family members are here to celebrate. They've been rooting on the Cubs since 1934. Andy Pafko, his favorite Cub. 1 pitch, 1 out. And it's Brian LaHare. This is strike 1-1. Right now blowing straight in from center.
Ryan Maher seeing a steady diet of pitches on the outer third of the plate or farther away. A lot of off-speed pitches on the outside corner or farther away. A few times they challenged him inside. Right there, he rolled over and hit the ground ball to first base for an easy out.
So with 2 outs, it's the catcher Soto. Ben Sheets, he's 3-0 with the Braves. 6-1 the final over the Phillies last night. Cole Hamels took the loss, his first start since signing that big extension, and he walked 6, a career high. Lined out to right. Beltran there, the inning quickly over. Off to the 5th, top of the order for St. Louis. Cubs lead 2-1. Question. We're talking catchers today. Major League record for consecutive errorless games and chances. And it's Mike Matheny. There you go, the Cardinal manager. He was so good defensively.
How good was he? Well, I'll tell you. When the pitcher would go out between innings to take his 8 warm-up pitches with nobody in the batter's box, nobody playing defense, he would block pitches in the dirt. He wanted his pitcher to have confidence that no matter what that pitcher threw up there to home plate, Mike Matheny was going to stop it somehow.
A few other notes about Matheny. 41 years old, youngest active manager. This is his first managerial job of any kind professionally. Between his playing days and getting his current position, he worked as a Cardinal special assistant and a catching instructor in spring training. His career ended a little early due to the after effects of a concussion when he was with the Giants. 1-2 to Schumacher. Line foul.
There was some speculation at the time that perhaps it was because Mike Matheny wore the goalie style catcher mask. Now it's been modified and adapted with more padding, so it's much safer now, but not confirmed, but there was some speculation that perhaps it was because of too many foul balls to the mask of the old hockey style goalie mask. Splitter.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Perfect location on our BMO Harris pitch tracks. That ball starts at the bottom of the strike zone. Once it gets into the hitting area, it just bottoms out. You see that tumbling rotation on the pitch, taking just enough velocity off and giving it just enough movement. Schumacher hacks right over the top of it.
Inside to John Jay. I have a question for you about pitchers shaking off signs. Now watch, you're going to see the splitter here at one point. So, no. Everything no. Sometimes you'll see pitchers shake off a sign and then accept that sign later in the sequence.
Well, many times that's done just to confuse the hitter, just a plant of seed of doubt. If a hitter steps in the batter's box and he's thinking in his mind, I'm going to get a first pitch fastball. This guy's starting everybody with first pitch fastball. I'm going to go up there and look first pitch fastball, and then the pitcher stands out there and shakes his head 2 or 3 times. Now as a hitter, you have to question your own thought process. Well, geez, if I thought he was going to throw a first pitch fastball and he shook twice, that means he's going to throw a slider right here, because you go from 1 to 2 to 3. And you can outthink yourself sometimes. Most of the time, that's why a pitcher does it. Occasionally, a catcher will be so sure that it's the right pitch to throw in a situation that he'll just keep putting the same sign down until eventually the pitcher has no choice but to either deliver that pitch or step off the rubber and have a conference with his catcher. We've seen it many times before. Catchers have signs that they'll give to the pitcher when they want him to just stand there and shake his head no. And that's all designed to try to confuse the hitter a little bit.
Two and one on Holiday. 2 outs. We're in the 5th. Cubs leading on a 2-run triple in the first inning from Alfonso Soriano. Slider in the dirt. 3-1. There are times as a catcher in your career, and I want to tell your catchers in Arizona not to get frustrated when you're trying to get a pitcher to throw something, but he doesn't want to throw it. And one thing you hear is whatever pitch that pitcher wants to throw, he's got to throw it with confidence and conviction. And as a catcher, you want to do that. Give that fist bump. Here we go. Castro gets Holiday, and that'll end the inning. Bottom 5 coming up with the Cubs leading 2-1. Three straight 1, 2, 3 innings for Joe Kelly after he gave up 2 in the first. And the pitch to Jeff Baker is a sweeping slider outside. Two and 0 hitters count here for Mr. Baker, who grounded out his first time up. Sharply hit ground ball to Descalzo at short.
Hey fans, Qdoba is giving the first 20,000 fans a chance to win free food. The Cubs get a base hit in the 5th inning. Fans with a base hit for Burritos game card win a free entree.
Valbuena flying to the warning track in left center his first time up.
That ball really well too, Atlanta. What we've seen in Luis Valbuena, I think his power is to left center field. Looks like his natural swing that produces the most deep fly balls or extra base hits have been hit to left center field.
Two bounces right to Schumacher. 2 quick outs. Mentioned the Pirates came back again last night. They got 2 runs in the 9th to beat the Astros 6-5. It's the 3rd time in the last 4 games that the Astros have lost after going into the 9th with a lead. They've lost 11 in a row. That ties a club record. They've dropped 24 of their last 26. Final year in the National League. Samardzija will have to get a new bat. So Wandy Rodriguez will make his Pirate debut against the Astros tonight, and Armando Galarraga will go for the Astros. His first major league start in over a calendar year.
Looks like the Astros are bound determined to take that #1 draft pick with them to the American League next year.
Marlins have dropped 8 of 9. Carlos Zambrano got the loss last night, 7-2. And were beaten by the Padres in Miami. Been in on Samardzija, 1-2. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Joe Kelly now with 4 straight 1-2-3s, but he's trailing Samardzija and the Cubs 2-1. It's on Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley Field. Game time 1:20. But be sure to arrive early. The first 4,000 children 13 and younger will receive limited edition American Girl doll-sized Cubs apparel. Doll not included. Compliments of Pepsi. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Middle of the order for the Cardinals: Beltran, Berkman, and Molina. Two hits for the visitors through 5. A struggle for Beltran here in the second half. Came in hitting just .222 since the All-Star break. Started in right field for the National League in the All-Star game. Right on the edge. 2-2.
Talk about Carlos Beltran. Health always is a factor as to how much he can contribute, how many games he can play. But with the Cardinals having the depth that they do and some backup players that are putting up big offensive numbers, Mike Matheny should be able to rest Carlos Beltran adequately in the second half of the season to keep him fresh.
He's coming back from a 2-day respite. I think if you had to pick a key batter of the game so far for Samardzija, I think it was Beltran's at bat in the first. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he got Beltran on the first pitch to bounce into a fielder's choice.
And what that did also, Len, even though the Cubs were only able to get one out on the play and one run did score, it put a light at the end of the tunnel. One more ground ball, possibly a double play to get out of the inning. Now, as it turned out, he struck out Lance Berkman and got the fielder's choice from Yadier Molina to end the inning. But when you have bases loaded and nobody out, you don't know how you're going to get out of this jam. With this very quick one pitch out, forced play at second base, at least gave Jeff Samardzija and the Cubs a light at the end of the tunnel to get out of the inning. And to escape that one with only one run is pretty amazing.
Been able to hold up 3-1. Walk number 5 today. Other teams that have been pretty cold. The Brewers finally got a win last night, 6-0 over the Nationals, snapping a 7-game losing streak and the Nationals' 6-game winning streak. The Mets losing their 13th game in their last 15. Got smoked by the Diamondbacks 11-5. Reds have won 8 in a row and 12 of 14. Blanked the Rockies 3-0. Doesn't seem to be any in between right now in the National League. Either you're red hot or stone cold.
Well, we know walks are never a good thing, but if you had to pick one player in this Cardinals lineup that you don't mind being on base, it's probably Lance Berkman. He's had gimpy knees, not running well at all right now. Doesn't run much under ideal conditions, but there he goes, of course.
And a broken bat, base hit. Berkman makes a turn, but he cannot advance to third. Cardinals with a little hit and run action.
Yeah, maybe that's why. It's going to take a very well-placed base hit to score Lance Berkman from second base. So Mike Matheny got him on the move there, trying to stay out of a double play and possibly create a first and third situation. Molina's bat shatters. Looked like Valbuena was distracted by the barrel of the bat and never really saw the baseball heading for the hole between third and short.
Berkman going over to talk with his third base coach as Samardzija and Soto discuss things. Nothing on Matt Carpenter. Yankees are 6-1 against the Red Sox this year. 10-3 the final last night in the Bronx. I told you earlier, the Yankees are first team to 60 victories. They're 31-17 at home. Corpus and Maine are up. Things are pretty fluid in the AL Central. With the Tigers, that good run jumping past the White Sox. Well, now they're a game and a half out. Missed again, 3-0. White Sox won at Texas, and the Tigers lost in Toronto, and they're trailing again today. For Descalso. 2 walks and a single to load the bases with 1 out.
One of those situations, Len, you have to ask yourself, would I rather have Jeff Samardzija facing the left-handed hitting Daniel Descalso with the bases loaded, or bring in Scott Maine, at which point you're probably going to get Alan Craig or one of the other right-handed hitters off the Cardinal bench. Have to weigh the possibilities and figure out which matchup you like the best at this particular moment.
Here comes Chris Bosio after that first pitch missed.
Give a shout out in this day in baseball history, Len. Back in 1985 on this date, Darrell Evans, playing for the Detroit Tigers, hit a 6th inning solo home run, leading the Tigers to a 3-2 victory over the Twins. It was his 300th career home run on a 3-0 pitch at exactly 3 o'clock. How about that?
Very nice.
Darrell Evans, a former teammate of mine, one of the all-time good guys in the game of baseball.
As Ernie Harwell, I'm sure, said that day, it is long gone. 1-0 pitch on the way. That is well hit. Deep right. It's going to be caught by LaHair as the Cardinals tie it up. Well, a good thing the wind's blowing in today. That could have been a grand slam. Sac fly for Descalso, and it's 2-2.
Sure looked like a long one off the bat of Daniel Descalso. Had the right trajectory, the right direction, but just enough wind blowing in from right center field to hang that one up on the warning track for Brian LaHair.
So both runs for the Cardinals ultimately resulting from walks earlier in the inning. Inside to the pitcher Kelly. First and third now. Molina representing the go-ahead run. 90 feet away. Kick, the pitch, 1-2. Because of the walks, Samardzija already over 100 pitches. Kelly without a walk, just 68 pitches through 5. Swing and a miss to get out of the inning. 7th strikeout for Samardzija, but 2 walks really hurt him here in the 6th. It's now 2-2. Tune in as 2 diehard Cub fans go head to head in the ultimate test of Cubs knowledge. The Batter's Box presented by Midas tomorrow night at 9:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. So bottom of the 6th and a 2-2 tie. James Russell's up in the Cubs bullpen. Looks like he'll probably get the 7th. Samardzija 104 pitches through 6, just 3 hits, 6 walks, 1 off his career high 7 punchouts. Cubs trying to get something going here again offensively. It's been a while. 14 in a row retired by the rookie Joe Kelly. Knocked down by Schumacher, but that's all he can do. Leadoff single for DeJesus.
One of the toughest plays for that second baseman. You could see that ball appeared to hit right off the lip of the grass. Schumacher ranging over from his second base position, and you always have to be concerned about that lip of grass right there. That ball came up just enough to hit him in the thumb of the mid and bounce away for an infield hit for David DeJesus.
Game of the night last night had to be in Baltimore. The Athletics and the O's. Oakland had a 5-0 lead early, but then trailed 9-8 going into the ninth. The A's scored 6 times in the ninth to win it 14-9. Orioles' first loss, and they've gone into the ninth with a lead.
Just watching some of the highlight shows over the past couple of weeks, it looks like that Oakland team's having a lot of fun too.
Yep.
Bob Melvin has them playing with a lot of enthusiasm and energy, and they never feel like they're out of a ball game.
Really flying under the radar right now. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Strikeout number 6 for Kelly.
Kelly's fortunes have really turned around since that first inning when he started to go to his off-speed stuff. He's pounding a lot of hard fastballs and hard sliders in there in the early going. He's been mixing in straight changeups. That time a slower breaking pitch to get Castro way out in front. A lot of times when you see that pitching coach make a trip to the mound, all he is going to tell the pitcher is don't forget the rest of your pitches. Sometimes they fall in love with one particular part of their arsenal, throw way too many of that particular pitch and forget about their other pitches.
He's set. Another tapper foul, 0-2 to Rizzo. Upstairs that time. Still 2 strikes.
Well, that's not an easy thing to do, to make that adjustment to a 95-mile-per-hour fastball that was too close to the top of the strike zone to take. Well, he had been down in the zone with the first 2 deliveries and then goes up above the strike zone with a 95-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. Rizzo able to just get a piece to stay alive.
Cardinals tied it on a sac fly in the top of this 6th inning. Short lead right now by DeJesus. Inside to Rizzo, 2-2. Cub Ted Lilly going to start minor league rehab assignment the next day or so. He's been out since late May. Left shoulder issues with the Dodgers. See the Dodgers on this next trip. And how about this, Bob? We go to LA and San Diego on the same trip.
What a novel concept.
Doesn't make any sense, does it? We haven't done that particular trip enough. Emergency swing there. Still 2-2.
That's a swing that is not designed to put the ball in play. All you want to do is get a piece of it, like Anthony Rizzo just did. Try to stay alive. Hope Kelly makes a mistake on the next offer.
This is John Jay. 2 outs. The guy who has supplied the Cubs 2 runs on a triple in the 1st inning. Soriano with RBIs 60 and 61. Early on, it looked like we might see the same type of ball game we saw yesterday. That has not panned out. These 2 starters have been pretty good. Samardzija working around 6 walks. And Joe Kelly, after struggling to get comfortable in the 1st inning, certainly has since. Right center, and Jay battling the sun. Who's going to get it? It'll be Jay next to Beltran. Looks like James Russell's coming on in the 7th in a 2-2 tie. 40 flat screens, great food, and Wrigley's largest outdoor patio. Come celebrate a Cubs win and join us for the Captain Morgan Club post-game party featuring great music and Wrigley's friendliest staff. For more info, including specials and private party options, call 773-404-4750. We have the Captain Morgan 7th inning stretch coming up. And a brand new head football coach at the University of Illinois, Tim Beckman, will join us. Here's James Russell in a 2-2 tie. Scoreless inning yesterday. James had that rough outing at St. Louis a week ago today. Gave up 6 runs in 2/3 of an inning to see his ERA balloon from 2.5 to over 3.5. And called strike on Schumacher, top of the order for St. Louis.
Schumacher, one of the strikeout victims from James Russell in his outing yesterday, pitched a clean 8th inning. Did give up a base hit to Daniel Descalso, but struck out Matt Carpenter, Skip Schumacher, and Rafael Furcal.
Just missed the corner, 1-2.
A little bit of cutting action on that fastball, pushes it off the outside corner. They do not get the call from Angel Campos behind the plate.
In on the hands and fought off foul. 41,276. Over 80,000 so far in this series. And that'll get past Baker and into center for a leadoff single. Schumacher has been on 3 times from that leadoff spot. John Jay.
Jay has the most sacrifice bunts this season among position players for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's put down 5 successful sack bunts. See if Mike Matheny asks him to move the runner into scoring position here. Thinking they may go the route of the sack bunt, only because it's lefty on lefty here. James Russell can be a real tough at bat for a left-handed hitter, and you've got the right-handed hitting Matt Holliday on deck, followed by the switch hitter Carlos Beltran, followed by the switch hitter Lance Burke.
Does show bunt. The pitch is high. Jay with 5 sack hits this year. Popped up, and he can only get the 1 out. Problem is Rizzo's charging there. The throw right where Russell and Rizzo wanted it.
Rizzo comes in a couple steps before retreating back toward the bag. Unfortunately, the throw was a little high into the infield side. Rizzo had yet to find the base with his feet, so he tries to apply the tag, but Schumacher able to get underneath with a head-first slide.
So 1 out in the inning. And here's Holiday, who has walked and grounded out twice. See if they can turn it here. Valbuena. Baker. 2. Stretch time with Tim Beckman.
Guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, University of Illinois football coach Tim Beckman.
All right, Wrigley Field and Illini fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so it's root for the Commies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs. Go Illini!
The University of Illinois football program, Tim Beckman. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks,
Welcome
guys.
to Wrigley Field.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Honor to be here.
Great crowd today. Beautiful weather and a 2-2 game here in the 7th.
Gorgeous. It's been just gorgeous. What a great day for baseball.
Joe Kelly still in there facing Brian LaHare as he takes ball 1 outside. So tell us where the program is as we look forward to the 2012 season.
Well, we're 35 days away from that opening kickoff against Western Michigan. And we're heading down to Rantoul on August 5th. So we're very, very excited about getting this thing rolling.
And coming up, salute to Big Ten night on October 1st and 2nd here at Wrigley Field. And when you purchase a bleacher ticket from Cubs.com/special events, you'll also get a Cubs cap in the Big Ten team's colors that you prefer. And we have the Illinois version. There you go.
Looks great, doesn't it?
It does.
I like that orange and blue.
Nicely done. So that's October 1st and 2nd here at Wrigley Field.
Well, Coach, it seems appropriate. You're opening your season against Western Michigan, a Mid-America Conference opponent. You came from the MAC. You should know them very well, huh?
Well, I tell you what, Bill Cubitt does a great job with that Western Michigan program, and it'll be a challenge. We're going to have to play to the tops of our games, and but we're excited, and it'll be right there at Memorial Stadium.
LaHare draws the leadoff walk. It's the first walk issued by Kelly. And it'll bring up Soto. You've got Brian Fuentes, who made his Cardinal debut yesterday, getting loose. And Tony Campana is going to run for LaHare. So you're from Ohio, so who'd you root for growing up baseball-wise?
Well, you know, Dad was with the Cleveland Browns, so you had to be for the Indians just a little bit there, and used to work for the Indians as a loge attendant. And it was just an excellent time growing up around pro football and also around pro baseball.
Well, Bob, were you the president or vice president of the Tito Francona?
Vice president.
Vice president.
Yeah. There were only 2 members, so.
Well, we had some struggling days there with the Indians.
Man, I'm telling you.
But hopefully they're on the way back. What a great organization, though, to work for.
So Kelly will keep a close watch on the pinch runner, Campana. Another Ohio guy. Campana from the Cincinnati area. A lot closer that time.
Well, uniquely, Jeff Smarge, his last football game, I believe, was the Fiesta Bowl, and I was at Ohio State at that time. So we really had to scheme up to stop him because he was a heck of a football player also.
An All-American wide receiver at Notre Dame. Another check on Campana. It's 3 straight throws over there as he hasn't even thrown a pitch to Soto yet.
Campana getting his usual enormous lead over there at first base. And we talked about Joe Kelly throughout the afternoon. He's a good athlete. He has quick feet out there on the mound. A quick snap throw to first base. Very close that time.
Campana took a couple steps but then put on the brakes. Ball 1 to Soto. Speaking of speed, that's a huge part of your game, isn't it, Coach?
No question. I mean, that's become the biggest part of college football, is being out there and recruiting players that can run at every position, not just wide receivers, but your linemen have to be able to run. So very, very important.
There he goes. Here's a throw by Molina. Save. Big stolen base. Campana now in scoring position with nobody out.
Boy, a big break for the Cubs that this pitch was up and in. Yadier Molina had to reach to his left, drag the ball back across his body before he could make that throw to second base. And when you have a speedster like Tony Campana on first base, everything has to go perfectly in order to throw him out at second base. Cardinals are unable to do it.
Cornermen now in 2-0 on Soto. Cardinals thinking he may try to bunt. Instead, a base hit into left. And Pat Listash puts a stop sign on. First and third, no outs.
Another example of how speed affects the game. Shortstop was jockeying with Tony Campana, trying to keep him close to the bag at second, leaving that big hole on the left side of the infield. Soto breaks his bat, but muscles it through into left field for a base hit, putting Cubs on the corners.
Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach, will head out the entire Cardinal infield now on the mound. Coach, when you take over a program, you've got the players already there. Then you start recruiting and bringing your own players in. What was kind of your message from day one to the players already at Illinois?
Well, the word that we always use is accountability. And we're going to be accountable to ourselves first and then to the program. So, I've stressed that. I really do believe in the plan that we have in place. It's a plan that's been very successful at the University of Toledo, but also has ties with Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Bowling Green, those times. So we're really excited, and the kids have bought into it, and I look forward to getting back on the field on the 5th.
See how the Cardinals set up here. Corner guys are in. So they might try to turn 2 on a ground ball up the middle and avoid a big inning. Give up that go-ahead run. The pitch to Jeff Baker, and he lines out. Oh, they had to play it first. I don't know why Schumacher didn't throw it to Berkman, but thankfully for the Cubs, he didn't.
The only thing I can figure, Len, is that Giovanni Soto was right in Schumacher's throwing lane to first base and didn't want to risk hitting the runner going back to first base and allowing Campana to score. But the timing of the play would have indicated that's an easy double play.
So that'll be it for Joe Kelly. Coach Tim Beckman, thanks for the time and best of luck to Illinois here in 2012. They open up against Western Michigan, and again, just a great cap. Come on out to Wrigley Field in early October. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. I'd like to thank the Cubs, too. Boy, what a great opportunity for SLN to come up here.
We'll be right back. Brian Fuentes, now a Cardinal, and he's been busy. This is his second appearance in as many days since making his debut yesterday.
It's an inning yesterday, struck out a couple of Cubs batters.
And he will face Luis Valbuena with Campana at third and Soto at first. And now the Cardinals will move their middle infielders almost all the way into the edge of the apron. So they're not thinking two as much as getting Campana. What's your thought on that one, partner? It almost feels like they have a better shot at turning two on a ground ball than getting one of the fastest guys in the league on a tag play.
And once again, much like the stolen base attempt at second base, everything has to be perfect in order to get Tony Campana, who I would certainly assume is going to be going on contact on a ball hit on the ground. If any of the defenders have to move right or left even a step, they're probably not going to have a play on Campana at the plate.
Fuentes bobs over to first.
Well, there was a mistake right there. Yadier Molina had jumped out from behind home plate. That was supposed to be a pitch out. Fuentes misread the sign, interpreted what he saw as a pickoff attempt at first base. You see Molina comes out from behind there expecting a pitch out. Instead, the throw goes to first base, and he immediately went to the mound to go over the signs once again with the newest Cardinal.
Pitch 0-2. If the Cardinals get into a save spot late in this one, Jason Mott probably won't be used. He's pitched 3 days in a row, covering 4 innings total. More likely would be Mitchell Boggs. Got the day off yesterday.
Now the Cardinals had a couple of extra inning games with the Dodgers down in St. Louis, and Mott was forced to pitch 2 innings in that final extra inning game down in St. Louis.
2-2 with Barney on deck. Huge strikeout for Fuentes. And with 2 outs, let's see if it will be Barney or Reed Johnson.
We talked about this just a few days ago. When you bring in that left-handed specialist out of the bullpen to face a left-handed hitter, the natural instinct is to think breaking ball, because that's more than likely what you're going to see as a left-handed hitter. But that time Fuentes crossed up Valbuena, went with the four-seam fastball for strike 3.
So Barney will not pinch hit. Instead, it'll be Reed Johnson. Monday NL Central Division action rolls on from Wrigley as Castro and the Cubs gear up for a showdown with McCutchen and the Pirates. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Subaru. Cubs pregame live. Cubs Pirates Monday night at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. I think Eric Bedard will go Monday. He was pushed back from tonight with Wandy Rodriguez going for the Pirates. The Cubs are to be announced. It will not be Matt Garza, although he did play catch today and will throw a bullpen session on Monday.
Saw Darwin Barney initially in the on-deck circle. He was called back in favor of Reed Johnson. Ironically, those were the 2 strikeouts that Brian Fuentes had in his 1 inning of work yesterday. Darwin Barney and Reed Johnson.
Well, the Cubs had runners at first and third with no outs. Now there are 2 outs. And still tied at 2 as Barney, or rather Johnson, bunts. Fuentes can't make a play, and the Cubs have the lead. Reed Johnson. The sneak attack 2-out bunt. Three to 2.
Well, you see how deep the third baseman is playing. It's not a great bunt off the bat of Reed Johnson, but it serves the purpose. By the time Fuentes gets to it, makes a barehanded play, he's got no chance to get Reed Johnson at first. You see Campana's already sliding into home. Heads up at bat by Reed Johnson right there.
So he comes through again with his 13th pinch hit of the year. The Cubs with a 1-run lead. Inning not over yet. Inside to DeJesus. That run charged to the starter Kelly.
We talk about Joe Kelly and his string of quality starts, but his record was only 1-2 during that stretch. Hopefully another example here today.
Three and 0. That'll be Sean Camp against the middle of the Cardinal order in the 8th. Ball 4, bases loaded. 3 on for Castro. 1 for 3 with a double and a run. Cubs getting the lead back on Reed Johnson's 2-out RBI bunt single. One and one. Barrett Browning, another lefty up for the Cardinals, who yesterday used 3 left-handed relievers in the game for the first time in 8 seasons. Swing and a miss and a changeup. 1 and 2. The changeup, a roller to short. Out at first as Descalzo just got Castro as the Cubs try to add on. They do, however, get the lead on the bunt single from Reed Johnson. And it's a 3-2 game as we go to the 8th.
Not so much upon replay. Starlin Castro clearly beats that throw to first base, costing the Cubs at least a run here in this inning. Cubs skipper Dale Swaim came out to argue the call after the inning was over and was promptly ejected by first base umpire Mike Winters. You can see the reaction of Reed Johnson, Pat Listash, and all the fans in the background. You miss a call and I get thrown out of the game. That's how it works, huh?
So Campana stays in. He scored the go-ahead run. He's in right. Arwen Barney's also into the game.
Well, Bud Selig said there's no appetite for added replay in baseball, but I think there's a lot of hungry Cub fans right now.
Carlos Beltran pulls one foul. Well, if you're going to get kicked out, if you're a swing, you might as well be right, and he was right. 0-2 on Beltran. Sean Camp from Virginia. As he strikes out Beltran. Talking in the clubhouse before the game, he's getting excited about the Washington Redskins upcoming season.
Well, we were talking about potential trades as we sneak up on the deadline, and Sean Camp is a guy that I'm sure has drawn a considerable amount of interest with the season he's had up to this point. Veteran strike thrower.
Swing and a miss on the slider. Cut there by Berkman. 0-2.
Giovanni Soto must be having some cramping issues. Came up out of his crouch after that last pitch. He's been walking around, bouncing up and down on the toes, trying to, I'm guessing, alleviate a cramp.
High pop fly out into left center. It's to Jesus. 2 outs.
And honoring Ron Santo's induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, Louisville Slugger has just released a limited edition full-size Ron Santo Hall of Fame commemorative bat. Get yours today at BigTimeBats.com or by calling 866-280-BATS.
Molina. The ejection of Dale Swain III of the season for the Cubs skipper. So Jamie Quirk, the bench coach, will have the reins in the dugout the rest of the afternoon. Goes the bat. Slider missed outside. Camp's former team, the Blue Jays, leading 5-1 over Detroit late. They're in the 8th. Full count. Rasmus Encarnacion and Escobar have homered for the Blue Jays. For Edwin Encarnacion, who's 28. Anibal Sanchez in his Tiger debut went 6, gave up 5 runs and 3 homers. Good battle here. Camp and Molina. Another 3-2. Another foul. Molina's not a big strikeout guy. Doesn't walk a ton either. And he does take the walk. Tying runners on base. Sequence started 0-2.
Oh, what a battle between a couple of veterans. Ultimately, Sean Camp tries to finish him off with a backdoor sinker. Just didn't quite get back to the corner.
The Galveston, Texas native Matt Carpenter. Flying to the warning track in his first at bat and has walked twice.
Molina with barely a step lead off first base on that first delivery to Carpenter. He's 8 out of 9 this season in stolen bases, but this is a pretty key situation in the ball game. He's not going to surprise anybody here.
Barney knocks it down. Still time. And he gets the out. 2-out walk. No damage done. Bottom 8. Cubs lead by 1. 3-2.
Field, well, now you can. Visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE Front Row Seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row, behind home plate, and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long, so don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com and check out the CBOE Front Row Seats auction today.
Left-hander Barrett Browning makes his second appearance in this series. 1-2-3 7th. Yesterday, all ground ball outs. Facing Anthony Rizzo. He was 0 for 3. Swing and a miss on a breaker. Bunted toward first. It's the first time we've seen Rizzo try that, but he hit it right to Berkman.
Not altogether a bad idea, Len, against a tough left-handed pitcher. You've got that right side of the infield playing way back. Anthony Rizzo leading off an inning in a one-run ball game. Unfortunately, just bunted it too hard right to Lance Berkman.
Soriano. Browning was a minor league Rule 5 guy drafted out of the Angels organization in December. He brought up to the Cardinals at the end of June. Got a righty down there, Trevor Rosenthal, just in case here in the 8th. 1-1. Carlos Marmol preparing for the 9th. One and two. Browning has a sign from Molina. He strikes out Soriano, 2 away. Get Chicago Sports News Nightly on GMC Sportsnet Central. Coming up tonight at 10, the first place White Sox take on the Rangers. And the Bears practice for the first time in pads under the lights. Join Chris Bowden and Susanna Collins for GMC Sportsnet Central. Tonight at 10 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Campana pinch ran for LaHare in the 7th and scored the go-ahead run. Stole a base before scoring that run. Even though he hasn't been playing much here lately, that steal number 26 on the season. He's now tied with Emilio Bonifacio for 3rd in the majors. Check that in the National League. Tied with Bonifacio as he flails away. 0-2. Bounced up the middle. Jump toss by Schumacher. Neatly done to end the inning. We go to the 9th. Marmol on. Cubs leading 3-2.
including the next series against division rival Pirates beginning Monday night right here at Wrigley Field. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office.
Time now for our Home Depot doing more on defense.
Neatly turned double play, grounder to Luis Valbuena, on to Jeff Baker, who fires onto first to double off Matt Holliday.
Joe Mather in for Soriano in left, double switch. As he and Carlos Marmol are into the game. He'll try to get save number 13 as he faces Descalzo, a pinch hitter, and then Schumacher. Right now, Alan Craig swinging a bat on deck. Ball one. First outing in 4 days for Marmol. And a base hit to start the inning.
Possibly see a pinch runner here for Descalzo.
Going to be Tyler Green. So here's Craig, who played right yesterday, went 1 for 5 with a home run. Right-hander Mitchell Boggs, in case we get to the bottom of the ninth. Craig has knocked in 50 runs in 58 games, and he takes a slider low. 1 for 3 in his career against Marmol.
Green at first, 8 out of 10 on the season in stolen base attempts. They're certainly not going to use Alan Craig to put down a sacrifice bunt. So more likely that Green would try to get a jump over there at first and steal his way into scoring position. Stolen bases last season, split between AAA and the major leagues with the Cardinals. He was only caught 2 times. His high came back in 09. AAA Memphis stole 31 bases, was caught only 3 times.
Well, with Carlos throwing his fastball a lot more often this year, he's added some velocity again. 2 years ago, according to Fangraphs, his fastball was averaging 94 miles an hour. Last year it was under 92 when he threw it just 36% of the time. Well, it's back up to 93.7. And he's throwing it a little more often than his slider when you add up all of his pitches this season. 2-1.
And I believe he's throwing that fastball with a lot more confidence. Dale Swaim and Chris Bosio, along with the catchers for the Cubs, have determined that Marmol needed to use that fastball a little more often. He's really letting it go. He's not guiding it up there trying to find the corners of the strike zone. He's just letting it go for the middle of the plate.
Almost got away from him on the pickoff attempt. Interesting, Bob, when he came up to the big leagues originally as a starter in 06, he was a fastball pitcher. He threw his curveball a lot more than his slider, which he didn't use that often. He really had to kind of fundamentally change his repertoire when he became a short reliever. Two with Green running is fouled back. Green not running. And a fly ball to center. That De Jesus will put away, 1 out.
Big first out of the inning right there. There's still more danger in this Cardinals lineup, but Alan Craig, secret weapon off that bench, as you mentioned. He's had a big year, driving in runs, hitting for power. Him to fly out with a lazy fly ball to center. Big first out.
Boggs and now Rosenthal in the Cardinal pen. Will be moot if Marmol can get out of this with no runs allowed. A strike. Cubs are trying to set up a rubber match tomorrow. Adam Wainwright and Paul Mahalo. Schumacher wants Jose Oquendo to give him the signs again. Oquendo just
bangs his two fists together, hit the ball.
Hit it. Probably made 10 to 12 throws over to first since Green came on as a pinch runner. It's not really shortened the lead of Green, however. He's got a base stealer's lead. He's not running. The Cubs pitch out.
Once again, sometimes you can bait that runner into attempting a steal by throwing several pickoff attempts to first base. At some point, the runner's going to say to himself, there's no way he's going to throw over here again. I'm taking off on first movement. Cubs tried to catch that particular situation with a pitch out, but Green not on the move that time.
He goes now. Here's a throw, and it gets through, and Green stumbled a little bit as he got tangled up with Castro. 2-1 meanwhile on Schumacher. Boy, a break there for the Cubs as that ball got by. As Green unable to advance another base.
Boy, look where Darwin Barney had to come from to back up that play. He was playing way over in the hole between first and second. But as that ball got past the hitting zone, he just broke into a sprint toward shallow center field, was able to cut off that overthrow and hold Green at second base.
Kick the pitch. 2-2. Nobody's left. Big crowd buzzing here in the ninth. Cubs leading 3-2. And the count now 3-2 on Schumacher.
That play by Darwin Barney on the overthrow, Lynn. That's one of those things that will not show up anywhere in a box score. It won't show up on a defensive metric anywhere, but could have possibly saved 90 feet. What a different story if that runner's at third base with one out in the end.
Schumacher has been deadly in this spot. That's John Jay. In the hole right now is Matt Holliday. Got it. 2 away. Almost strikes out Schumacher on a slider.
Acting like a split finger, breaking straight down toward the ground. Nice pitch.
Pitch to John Jay. Borderline missed. Ball 1. Noting here, Bob, any base hit to the outfield, green speed, he's going to tie the game. For those infielders, to keep the ball on the infield would be key here. Don't even have to get the batter necessarily, but keep Green from scoring.
I'm sure the infielders were reminded of that fact from their own dugout and probably from Giovanni Soto behind the plate. If you can't make the play cleanly, at least knock it down. Keep the ball on the infield any way you possibly can.
You don't have to make an heroic play here in this spot. 2-2. He's fought off a couple of 2-2 pitches. Matt Holliday waits on deck.
It's a good place for him. Let's just leave him right there.
There's a chopper. Barney. Cubs win. Cubs win as Marmol strands a tying run in scoring position. And they beat the previously red-hot Cardinals 3-2. Green was running with that pitch, but it didn't matter as Barney made the play. James Russell gets the win and Marmol with the save. The game-winning RBI, Bob, on a 2-out pinch hit RBI bunt hit.
Just a heads-up play on the part of Reed Johnson. He took a quick peek around the infield before he got in the batter's box. He realized if he got that ball down on the grass on the third base side, he had a chance to beat it out. Tony Campana read it well, comes home and scores easily from third base. No play for Brian Fuentes.